Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Impact Play, impacting more than just gaming. We are your weekly source for the latest news, updates, discussions, and at times have debates that revolve in and around the video games industry. You can be a part of the live show experience over at twitch.tv the Impact Play, and by clicking on the notification bell so you will be notified when we do go live, or later on YouTube, or even on your favorite podcast platform. Just simply search for the Impact Play. I'm your host Mohammed, otherwise known as It's Yagu, and this is episode 88. February is Black History Month. We are empowering and uplifting black voices and giving black artists, creators, entertainers, and even those in the gaming space a chance to shine in the limelight, and even to share their stories here on the Impact Play. On this latest episode, we discuss BlizzCon 2021. A new Silent Hill game might be in the works, the latest Nintendo Direct, a Street Fighter and Fortnite crossover, plus Rainbow Six Quarantine might be getting a name change, in addition to the top news stories affecting the gaming space. So, without further ado, we're going to discuss what we have been playing, what we have been enjoying, what we're looking forward to, and even if this doesn't directly revolve around video games. So, without further ado, I've been playing Apex Legends, having such a tremendous time. I've been uploading, and from those live streams that I do on Impact Play's Twitch channel, I create or I just grab a whole bunch of clips, upload those to TikTok, Instagram, to Twitter, what have you. So just follow me wherever you get, wherever you are, I'm there. It's at Itsyagoo, ITSYAGOOH, and you can simply find my content. And I also dabbled with a new game. Let me get that name real quick. Where are you? I played it over xCloud. I believe it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I'll tell you right now, as soon as this loads. What was it called? Oh, Dragon Age Inquisition. It was my first Dragon Age game, and honestly, I had a great time. And over xCloud as well, but it was over Wi-Fi. So I had a Razer Kishi controller that I had hooked up to my phone, and it played fine. The controls were responsive, and gameplay was pretty good. A little lag because it was over xCloud, over Wi-Fi, but other than that, it didn't affect my experience. My experience was pretty decent. So I was thinking, what should I play? Because I usually play Minecraft Dungeons over xCloud, but then I thought about it. Let me just play something new, and then Dragon Age was Dragon Age 1. So I will be playing more xCloud games as well. This will not be the first. But yeah, I've played Dragon Quest. What is it? 11S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition on xCloud. Played pretty decent. Played Gears. It was okay. Tell me why, it was actually pretty good. But yeah, but most of these, some of these games you could use touch controls, such as I believe Dragon Quest you could play touch. Tell me why. And Minecraft Dungeons. Minecraft Dungeons is pretty good for touch based controls, but like tell me why. And Dragon Quest, you're better off using like hooking up your Xbox controller via Bluetooth, or using something like a Razer Kishi controller that'll just hook up straight to the phone. But yeah, so I guess we'll get into the gaming news side of things if that's about it. So let me get everything ready. Oh, here we are. Oh, okay, I forgot to organize it, but that's gonna take a minute. It won't take long. Oh, I guess we could talk about this. Black Ops Cold War is is getting patch notes as well. On the third, no, so I received it, I believe, less than a week ago. So we have the latest patch notes. Let's see, zombies. Black Ops Cold War Season 2 is getting a bonus map. I'm not gonna go into the specifics because I haven't played Black Ops in a couple months. I haven't even played Cold War yet. Not even Warzone. I haven't played that in a while. So, if you guys are interested, you can check that out. I guess we're gonna move on next to the next article we have. Here's an article coming from GamesIndustry.biz. Super Mario 3D World and Browser's Fury comfortably the biggest game at UK box retail last week, and is the fastest selling release of the year so far. This, yeah, essentially it. We're not gonna go into exact specifics, but yeah. Next, here's another article coming from GamesIndustry.biz. After exploding in 2009, I explicitly left the industry in 2011. Or worry about that later. Okay, those are the words of Peter Temte when asked why he is again pushing forward with the release of 6 Days in Fallujah, the first-person shooter attempting to explore the events of the Second Battle of Fallujah during the Iraq War, from the perspectives of the U.S. forces who fought there. Originally due for release as far back as 2010, it was announced last week that the game would be heading to consoles and PC later this year. Wow, no idea. Wow. Temte Studio Atomic Games is no longer behind Six Days in Fallujah, which was instead been rebuilt from scratch by Highwire Games, a firm led by Destiny and Halo veterans, and published by Temte's newest company, Victoria. Even the investors backing the project are completely different, the CEO says. The project is built around the interviews with Marines and other U.S. servicemen who participated in the battle. Testimonies that will be presented in video and audio form before, during, and after missions to give the game a documentary like feel. And as the name suggests, it focuses on a single battle and ignores the wider context of U.S. forces invading another country on false pretenses, bringing with them incredible loss of life. TopTop acknowledges that reasonable people can argue that the war in Iraq should never have happened, but it is most interested in the November 2004 battle, where the majority of US forces sent into Fallujah were killed or wounded. He says the stories he heard from soldiers who survived were one of remarkable courage and sacrifice, and he felt compelled to tell their stories. Temte's first attempt failed when 6 Days' original publisher Konami dropped the game back in 2009, following backlash over its content and premise. Discussion with other publishers fell through, and Temte says he was forced to abandon the project. But this time he is determined to see it through, despite the backlash that has already been rekindled. Despite the game refusing to address the question of whether the soldiers should have been there in the first place, Temte says it's important to provide players with context. We can't tell the story without the rest of it. Temte says we have to give players the context of why they're in the city, why this battle exists. There were very specific things that led up to the Battle of Fallujah, and there are historical events. There are facts. They're not something that a conservative is going to think is good, and liberals is going to think is bad, or vice versa. Uh, Essentially it. So my take on this is, even though there are no direct ties, quote unquote, with the DOJ and the game, they're saying it's not going to be an educational type game. But what else could this be? If you're taking a battle or a war that should have never have happened in the first place, and you even said it yourself in this interview, and even publishers didn't even want to publish or even develop the game to begin with. What is that telling you? Like, no company's interested in this game. You expect consumers to be purchasing this game at a full resale price of $60, $70? I don't think so. So it's pretty much like what's that thing called? Begins with a P. Propaganda type game. That's what this seems. It's type of to form a propaganda to see that they were in the right, or to help rally up support for the U.S. forces and so on. But yeah, we had talk about this because it revolves around the industry. So next, Outriders is coming to Google Stadia. Square Enix is excited to announce that Outriders is the high-intensity RPG shooter from People Can Fly, the developers of Gears of War Judgment and Bulletstorm, and Square Enix in external studios, the minds behind Sleeping Dogs, Just Cause is coming to Stadia. Does it say release date? Yes, on April 1st of this year. I'm surprised that actual games are coming to the Google Stadia. So I guess they're just relying on third party since the first party went down the drain. They didn't even give them enough time. I discussed this, I believe, last week, if not the week before. You could simply go back to one of the previous episodes to hear my take on that. All right, and that was from Square Enix's PR. All right, next. This is coming from WCCF Tech. That's a new one. Okay. Ubisoft has confirmed that they're changing the name of Rainbow Six Quarantine, but say the Parasite title is just a placeholder and could change. The original story is it could be launching under a new name. Ubisoft has provided a small update saying Quarantine will arrive in the first half of fiscal year 2022, sorry, and that they're considering changing the game's name due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But you can simply hear my take on this. I discussed this in the previous episode, and I'm not gonna go into that further. But yeah, that's that's it. So moving forward, we have a huge Nintendo leak. Reveals four upcoming Nintendo Switch games. This is coming from comicbook.com. Uh, let's see. I'm not gonna go into their. I'm not gonna go into the leaks. I'm seeing if there's anything generic that I could discuss. Okay, there hasn't been any official confirmation, so I'm not gonna discuss anything about it. So if you guys are interested, you could search that up. Okay. It's coming from Games Radar. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has a new update out right now on all platforms, introducing the brand new River Raids activity. Prepare, prepare your Jom's Viking crew for this new highly playable mode that will take you to unexplored regions of England, which is full of raiding opportunities. The official patch notes for the Assassin's Creed Valhalla update reads: New loot, challenges, and more await Eivor in the River Raids mode, which is part of the ongoing UL season content. So I'm definitely interested to give this a shot. Hopefully, sometime this week. Moving forward, actually. Okay, this is from another one from Square Enix's press release PR. Okay, tonight, Square Enix announced that Marvel's Avengers launches on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and S consoles on March 18th of 2021, alongside the second new playable superhero for the game, Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, the unmatched archer with the unerring precision. Players who own the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One version of the game can upgrade to the full generation, next generation version at no additional cost and transfer their game save data to keep the progress. What's that asterisk thingy? So free upgrades are only available from the PS4 to PS5 or Xbox One to Xbox Series X or S. Xbox the disc requires the with a disc drive, of course. And yeah, that's essentially it. All right, we're gonna go into the Nintendo Direct last, so I could watch it live with you guys. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're gonna watch a trailer towards the end before the Nintendo Direct. I'm gonna get into that later. All right. Okay, what's this? Microsoft this week revealed a new testing platform geared towards helping developers, engineers, and refine the accessibility of their games. And this is coming from gamesindustry.biz. Developers can now send their Xbox or PC titles directly to Microsoft and have it measured against Xbox accessibility guidelines. As outlined in a blog post by Gaming Accessibility Senior Program Manager Dranan Zahan, developers will receive compensation, feedback, and notes where issues are found, complete with reproduction steps, screenshots, and any other relevant information. Furthermore, in order to help developers understand the potential impact of their decisive decisions, decisions. My mistake. Microsoft will include links to game accessibility and inclusion design documentation, nonprofits, and industry recognized subject matter experts, platform specific technical documentations, and more. Following feedback from developers, Microsoft carried out a review of these guidelines, led by Caitlin Jones of the gaming accessibility team. The review focused on addressing common questions developers had around where to start and how to focus efforts. And this is kudos on Microsoft as well for doing such a tremendous job with accessibility, backwards compatibility, backwards compat, and so much more. So speaking of backwards compat, where's that next article? It's coming from CBR.com. Xbox Series X and S is supporting the company's commitment to compatibility with FPS Boost, a new feature that will increase the frame rate on games from previous generations when they're played on the newer consoles. The blog entry on the official Xbox website made the announcement about this feature, detailing its development history and usage as well as listing the first wave of titles that will benefit from this feature. The announcement first explained how the new console's increased CPU, GPU, and memory have been geared towards a better playing experience of games that uh, predated the Xbox Series X and S. With certain titles, we can make the experience even better. It continued, all with no work required by the developer, with no update needed by the gamer. To that end, the backwards compatibility team has developed FPS Boost, which employs a variety of new methods for nearly doubling and, in a few instances, quadrupling the original frame rate on select titles. And we're gonna go into those titles. Give me a moment. Let me pull it up. Far Cry 4, new Super Lucky Tale, Sniper Elite 4, UFC 4, and Watch Dogs 2. We chose this initial collection of titles not only because they are popular amongst fans, but to highlight several different ways that FPS Boost can improve your experience. For example, no Super Lucky Tale can now run up to 120 frames per second, and UFC 4 delivers improved frame rate performance specifically on Xbox Series X, and it can run at 60 frames per second. So yeah, kudos on Microsoft. Zynga is still in the market for even more acquisitions. It's coming from GamesIndustry.biz. The recent rash of mergers and acquisitions may be driving up pricing for purchasing companies, but it doesn't sound like Zynga is all that concerned. Speaking with GamesIndustry.biz after the company's financial earnings report last week, Zynga's president of publishing, Bernard Kim, said that the company's strategy is the same as it was 5 years ago, before it pursued a series of acquisitions including Gram Games, Small Giant, Peak Games, and Relic. We knew consolidation was coming, Kim says. It's happening right now as the mobile games business is moving more towards scaled business that have networks, that have resources, can promote live services and games more effectively as a larger company. Zynga has proven that over the last 5 acquisitions we've made, all have been very successful. So I guess we're gonna look. Uh, we're gonna see more acquisition in the gaming space soon. All right, this we'll talk about later as well. that goes in direct correspondence to the director. I'm not gonna talk about that till the very end. Alright, we have an update on the Halo job listing that actually refers to Halo Infinite and not a new Halo game. It's coming from IGN. Earlier this week, Halo community manager John Jensbeck confirmed that the job listings suggested a new Halo project were in the works, or in fact using boilerplate language the company uses for job listings. It was in fact referring to Halo Infinite and not a new project. So, I guess because I talked about this last week, I honestly thought that it might not be a new game, but it did it in a generic sense, a new project. So it could be a new show, it could be a branch of type of game, or what have you. But this turned out not to be the case. So false news, everybody, or should I say, false flag? I forgot that thingy, but it's all good. Okay, next. This is coming from Eurogamer. The long-awaited custom games browser featured hits Halo the Master Chief Collection as early as next week, and this is the new way to play that the Master Chief that 343 teased last week. So everyone assumed, oh, it might come to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4. Even I assumed it might even come to xCloud or even what's that storefront on PC? Epic. But this turned out not to be the case. It turned out that it's a new mode, I believe, or a new map. Yeah, it's just a new in-game browser for customs. That's all it is. So another false flag. We have some more information in regards to the Apple versus Epic situation that's going on. Epic Games, and this is going. Both of these articles are coming from GamesIndustry.biz, by the way. Epic announced that the European Union to the list of venues in which it is contesting Apple's control of the App Store. The company announced that it has filed an antitrust complaint with the European Commission's Directorate General for Competition, in which it claims that through a series of carefully designed anti-competitive restrictions, Apple has not just harmed but completely eliminated competition in app distribution and payment processes. Epic already has similar legal challenges to Apple and their works in the US, Australia, as well as the UK. That's essentially it. It really just highlights everything that's been going on lately, but that's about it. And then we're going to go to the next article. Apple is trying to pull Valve into its legal dispute with Epic through a request for years of information about the Valve's revenue and games sold on Steam. As reported by the PC Gamer, a joint discovery later brief has revealed that Apple requested the information in November of 2020 because it wanted to counter Epic's allegations that it had engaged in monopolistic behavior with its App Store policies. While counsels for Apple and Valve have met, they've been unable to reach an agreement and have filed a letter asking for the judge in Apple's legal battle with Epic to provide a standing order. Epic and Apple's dispute. Okay, here we go. Apple argues that Valve, as a dominant digital games distributor and direct competitor with Epic's game store, has information that is highly relevant to the case. Valve says that the request is overboard, puts too heavy a burden on a non-party to the suit, and Apple has not shown substantial need for the information it seeks. Uh, it just repeats everything essentially. But essentially, what's going on is I should say I broke that down. My thoughts on this: Apple is just what's that word? They're just doing the best that they can to help get rid of this legal battle with Epic. That's all there is. They're fishing in empty waters essentially. They're trying to delay it as much as they can. This way, people can just forget about it, and this case will just drop on its own. That's what I'm thinking that they're hoping for. But This is between you and Epic. What does a completely different party have to do with anything? Something that's not relevant to your case. Supposedly they are. No, they're not. You're just fishing in empty waters. There's a term for that, but the only thing that's coming to my head right now. It's okay. So moving forward, that's later on as well. Oh yeah, a new Silent Hill game is reportedly in the works from a prominent Japanese studio. It's coming from a Games Radar. Konami is working with a prominent quote-unquote Japanese studio on a new Silent Hill game planned for a summer reveal, according to a new report from VGC. The coming This comes amidst speculation that the Bluebird team, the Polish studio behind the medium, is also working with Konami on a Silent Hill project. Though that speculation seems to be exclusively stemmed from comments made by the Bluebird team CEO Bautier Biano in a new interview with GI Biz, where he suggests the studio's next horror project is from an existing IP, and it says it's coming from a very famous publisher. Though the idea that Bluebird team is developing a Silent Hill game is entirely speculation at this point. Possibility that two separate Hill games are in the works lines up with long-standing rumors. So all we gotta do is wait for official confirmation, essentially. Now, moving forward. No, actually, we're getting closer. Okay. This is coming from The Verge. Famous video game fighter Chun Li may be in the may not be in the new Mortal Kombat movie, but she and fellow Street Fighter icon Ryu will be playable characters in Fortnite soon. They're available since yesterday, so that's the next crossover event. And there was an update from Fortnite 6 hours ago that the Street Fighter says not yet available in the shop, but they'll keep you an update soon for a workaround. Da, 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 da. So it's not yet. So it's not available at the moment. All right. Let's see. I guess we'll go on to this right here before we move on to BlizzCon. Okay. This is coming from GameIndustry.biz, by the way. Former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils was critical of a digital E3 that wouldn't offer hands-on with the games being showcased, adding that plans for the 2021 edition don't sound all that compelling. During an interview with Gamertag's founder and host Danny Pena, Reggie was asked about the ESA's plan to bring back E3 in a virtual way once again this year, following up on the canceled 2020 edition due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He acknowledged that the ESA is on the right track and absolutely right in doing a digital E3, and it can attract a much wider audience than the typical in-person event. But the lack of playable content is what could jeopardize the event. He continued, I think that the platform holders need to find a new way digitally to enable their fans, their players, to experience the content. Because that's the key for E3, right? The ability to be playing The Last of Us Part 3 for the first time, or to play that next Breath of the Wild game for the first time, or to play the next generation games coming from the new amalgamation of all the Xbox studios. He added that the ESA doesn't solve that equation, another company will. So again, kudos on Gamertag Radio for getting this amazing interview. If you guys are interested, you can simply search for Gamertag Radio or go to gamertagradio.com to hear or watch that interview with Reggie. All right. GDC, the Games Developer Conference for 2021, is foregoing its plans for a hybrid event this year and will instead be held as a digital event from July 19th through the 23rd. So, not surprising, COVID. All right. Next, the IGDA Foundation announced the launch of a Diverse Games Developer Fund, a $300,000 grant for marginalized developers. The fund was created in partnership with Grant for the Web and aims at exploring monetization options outside the traditional boundaries which have been built by and for a Western audience, the announcement said. At least 200,000 of the diverse games developer fund will go towards indie developers and studios so that they can continue working on their prototypes, while $50,000 has been earmarked for academic sponsorships. The rest of the funds will be used as prizes for game jams. So developers and students interested in applying can go to this page from today on before March 15th. And I'll definitely include that in chat now, as well as in the show notes for those watching later on. All right. So, where are you? Can't see anything. Oh, here it is. Bungie. One thing this article. Bungie announced this week a series of expansion plans, including the establishment of its first international office. The new office will open next year in Amsterdam and will house the studio's publishing and marketing divisions. Bungie has been developing the side of its business since 2019. So it's just like a brief history of them, but yeah, that's essentially it. Good kudos on GamesIndustry.biz for that article. Another one from GamesIndustry.biz. Social media platform eFuse raised $6 million in a funding round led by the Ohio Innovation Fund. The round also saw participation from NFL and NBA athletes Odell Beckham Jr. and Denzel Ward from the Cleveland Browns, and Dezkiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys, Chase Winovich from the New England Patriots, and Seth Curry from the Philadelphia 76ers. The platform gathered 500,000 new users last year and currently has nearly 25,000 jobs, internships, and scholarships on offer. The funding will go towards further development of the platform and a recruitment push, as well as expansion of its competitive events called Arena. So next, BlizzCon 2021. Here are the biggest announcements from the event. We have a during the opening segment from what is it? Oh, I don't know. I don't care about that. So it's There's a Blizzard Arcade Collection reveal. So it's pretty much like old school games, essentially. That's what it looked like. Cause I watched a little bit of the event. So we have the latest trailer for World of Warcraft Shadowlands showcased the new events coming in the Chains of Domination update, along with more story following the Jailer's continued rise to power. The new update will include a new raid, dungeon, and PvP content. The throwback MMO, World of Warcraft Classic, will be bringing back the original game's iconic expansion, the Burning Crusades, released in 2007. This expansion brought players to the Outlands, allowing players to explore new dungeons and acquire loot. The latest trailer. The next major expansion coming to Blizzard's card game, Hearthstone, is called Forged in the Barrens and will introduce 135 new cards, 10 legendary and mercenary characters, and incorporate a new key word known as Frenzy. With the year of the Griffin, the season will also add the core set, a revised deck of 235 cards that incorporates new and old favorites with new legendary dragon cards including Deathwing and Death Destroyer. Okay, and the newest trailer for Diablo 4, we got to see a new cinematic trailer highlighting the new rogue class, along with other classes. The Barbarian, the Sorceress, the Druid, and the Rogue will fight monsters and other humans to collect loot, complete quests. The trailer showed us some gameplay with the class, which blends ranged bow combat with melee attacks, all of which highlight their speed and tactical abilities during combat. Last but not least, the much rumored and teased remaster for Diablo 2 has finally been revealed. Developed by Blizzard and Vicarious Visions, the remaster of Blizzard's iconic action RPG will make the game's visual style and add some quality of life improvements for the original gameplay. They said that the trailer showed the gameplay still retains what made classic Diablo 2 so great. This remaster will also include cross progression on all platforms. All right, so we're gonna watch a video with you guys. Let me see if I can pull up that trailer. Search. I honestly watched the first 30 seconds. I was just sold. And you guys gonna see what I'm referring to. Nope, not yet. Okay, let's switch this to 1080 full screen, and then let's see if I can share this with you guys. Where are you? No, got it. Okay. Now let me do one more thing. No, not that. All right. Here we go. Put my headset on. Wait, hold on. Am I hearing any sound registering? Give me a second. Let me adjust that. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah, there we go.
First learned about this 7 years ago. On a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds.
The part.
The target had superhuman abilities.
That's the part that's telling me that one scene in the beginning.
It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole. It means you've been chosen.
Throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament of champions. That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation to fight for something known. As Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, what's this
These
scene?
are your champions.
I'm Sonya. That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Name's Jax.
Kung Lao. Lord Raiden. The fate of Earth is in our hands.
No matter how many of my people you put in the ground,
We will not fail.
kill them.
Sick.
Get over here!
Doing this shit.
Kano wins. You fucking beauty.
Can't wait. And we're gonna end this with one more trailer. This is from the Nintendo Direct. I actually missed this. We're gonna do like a reaction to it as well. Actual gameplay footage.
One day, Pyra just disappeared. I couldn't find her anywhere.
Now they start talking.
It was as if she vanished off the face of Allrest. Without a trace. Where have you gone? I'll find you, whatever it takes. This is where you were. Pyra!
Sorry, Rex. I couldn't tell you. Because I got an invitation to join Smash!
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was funny.
What? I thought I was gonna be in Smash.
Just sit back and leave it to me, Rex. Behold the power of the Aegis! Smash Flare!
You powered up your Smash attack with fire?
Squirrel.
Flame Nova! Prominence Revolt! Blazing End!
And look how characters in Smash.
You're pretty much owning them, and these are seasoned fighters.
There are no pushovers!
Talk about a tight spot.
Mithra?
Let me handle this.
Mithra!
Cutting it close, huh? Oh, hey, were these guys planning on winning? Gee, I feel kind of bad now. Coming through! Lightning Buster! Photonic! Ray of Punishment! Chromosome! Foresight!
What? You can even use that?
Hey, right here!
So you two can swap between each other freely?
Serious firepower and blinding speed. Together, nothing can stand in our way!
Quite the spectacle, aren't they?
Wait, Gramps?
I've missed this old buddy. Mind if I watch a while? Oh, look, our friends are here. And there's some pork.
You're all mine. I'll lend you a hand.
Sacred Arrow!
Unstrike!
Burning
Sword! Nailed it!
Sure did! Witness our power! Shulk?
I never expected to see you two again. Well, now that you're in Smash, I won't go easy on you!
Ooh, fighting words. You forget. We're fighters too!
Xenar Chronicles too.
Hello everyone. It's been a while. I'm Shinya Takahashi from Nintendo. Last year, we delivered some news through a series of Nintendo Direct mini presentations. However, we haven't been able to present a Nintendo Direct in this style for some time.
That's true.
I'm happy to share this Nintendo Direct with you all today. We appreciate your continued support. Okay, what you just saw was the reveal trailer for the newest fighter in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game, Pyra and Mithra. They originally appeared in the Xenoblade Chronicles series as Rex's 2-in-1 ally. Please look forward to seeing their moveset in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This fighter releases in March, so we hope you'll stay tuned just a bit longer. Alright, let's continue with our first batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
All Guys coming to the Switch. I expected this to be the last announcement. Because they usually do stuff like this. Like they did with Among Us coming to the Switch. About time. I'm honestly waiting for Apex coming to the Switch in March, even though I won't play it myself. That with Apex Legends coming to Switch in March, it's one step closer to cross-play and cross-progression. That's what I'm waiting for with Apex Legends.
Venture into the vast reaches of space to
Outer Wilds finally comes to the Switch.
By an ancient civilization. You have 22 minutes. After that, the sun will explode and the solar system will be annihilated. However, everything will reset, allowing you to continue exploring while retaining information you gathered. By repeating these cycles, you'll gradually unravel the mysteries hidden in the universe. What messages will you discover? How can you prevent the sun from exploding? Why is the solar system trapped in an endless time loop? Find out when the critically acclaimed Outer Wilds launches on Nintendo Switch summer 2021.
Okay.
Put your sleuthing skills to the test in 2 classic murder mystery games. Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and Famicom Detective Club, The Girl Who Stands Behind, 2 deep cuts from Nintendo history, are coming to North America for the first time. Localized in English and modernized for the Nintendo Switch system. Suspense, drama, and twists and turns await at every corner. You'll be on the edge of your seat as you dive into these deep narratives set in Japan. In one game, you'll solve a complex murder case surrounding a wealthy family in a haunted village while dealing with amnesia. But that's not the only case to crack. In the other game, you'll investigate a supernatural rumor after a mysterious death to free students from a sinister nightmare. Interrogate suspects and hunt for clues to piece together
This
these
seems like
chilling
not my cup of tea.
Can you figure out who the culprit is before it's too late? Uncover the deadly truth in Famicom Detective Club The Missing Heir and Famicom Detective Club The Girl Who Stands Behind. Coming to Nintendo Switch May 14th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. A new age of battles begins.
What's this? What game is this? Samurai Warriors. this game before. This is 5 too.
The latest entry in the Samurai Warriors franchise is coming to Nintendo Switch. Dive into the history of the Sengoku period as the series now shines the spotlight on Nobunaga Oda and Mitsuhide Akechi. Character designs and
it's that
visuals
type of
have been
game?
revamped for
Okay.
this installment. Unleash high-octane moves in electrifying 1 versus 1,000 battles. In Samurai Warriors 5, slashing its way onto Nintendo Switch, summer 2021.
Okay.
The vast world of Fadiel beckons. After 20 long years, Legend of
Kinda
Mana
looks like a
featuring
Zelda game.
remastered HD graphics is coming to Nintendo Switch. You'll set off on a journey to find the mystical mana tree seen in a dream. Before discovering the world map is empty. During your travels, you'll acquire special items called artifacts. Place them on the map to bring towns, dungeons, and other lands to life. It's up to you on when and where to place artifacts, as well as how to advance the story. Join forces with characters, each on their own personal quests. Square off against fearsome monsters. Or take a break from adventure and rest up at home. The music has been rearranged for this enhanced version, and you can alternate between the new arrangement and the original soundtrack. Other features have been added, including the ability to turn off enemy encounters, as well as the new minigame Ring Ring Land. Legend of Mana will launch on Nintendo Switch June 24th.
Okay. Next. This all seems like partner directs, to be honest, or indie directs mixed in. I've been hearing that this direct was lackluster in content. Not content, but like quality content, or titles that people kind of wanted. Wait, is this Monster Hunter? No, it's the same game. I thought it was Monster Hunter for a second.
Elder, I have important news.
So it's finally beginning.
Go assemble the villagers. 50 years ago, Kamura Village was attacked by the Rampage and Magnum Malo. And we suffered some devastating casualties.
How can we fight against that?
Our hunter's about to face the biggest challenge yet!
Looks like Monster Hunter, but they didn't say anything about it.
Pull yourselves together! You're not getting in!
Let's go, everyone!
Go rampage somewhere else!
You listen to me now!
Here it comes! Watch out for the apex! Do not let it pass!
The rampage. How long do you think it's going to last?
I was right. Like, wait, this looks like a Monster Hunter game.
Noah, we should start
I
preparation.
know a lot of people that are excited for this game too.
We're here to offer assistance. We must stop the calamity.
March 26. Including a deluxe edition system as well.
That was the latest trailer for Monster Hunter Rise from Capcom. How will our heroes fare against these ferocious monsters? Stay tuned for the latest installment in the Monster Hunter series, launching March 26th. Next, please take a look at this.
Yeah. There you go.
The fairway is open once again. Tee off on the latest installment of the Mario Golf series, coming to Nintendo Switch. Study the wind and terrain. Take
I
your
know a
time
good
to
amount of
think
people that are
things
excited for
through.
this game as well. They
Then
wanted a
swing.
Mario Golf game. I know Mario Sport game, but Mario Golf to be more specific.
Enjoy golfing with familiar Mushroom Kingdom characters on courses filled with lush, natural scenery. Use features on the greens, like a shot gauge, to see how your shot will curve due to slopes, and a scan that lets you examine
nice.
a course's terrain. These features can help you ace your shots. In addition to button controls, you can also use motion controls by holding a Joy-Con controller like a golf club. Gently swing the controller to have your character swing in the game, letting you easily enjoy the sensation of golfing. On top of all that, there are several modes with new elements that truly bring the heat to Mario Golf, including this one,
Luigi on ice?
Speed Golf. Here, it's always your turn. Everyone tees off at the same time, then you'll race through the course to
Oh,
reach
so
your
that's where
goal.
they're running.
Give it another whack to get it closer to the hole, then keep going. Outpace your opponents to come out on top. Your golfing skills
shining egg.
aren't the only things at play. Make use of dashes and special shots to beat the competition. Oh, did we mention story mode? As a Mii character, you'll start out as a rookie and develop your golfing skills while interacting with various Mushroom Kingdom characters. Level up with experience points earned during matches. Then, allocate points to different stats, allowing you to develop your character however you'd like. You can also use your Mii in versus play. Put your golfing skills to the test when Mario Golf Super Rush swings onto Nintendo Switch June 25th. Pre-orders begin on Nintendo eShop.
So it has
after
online,
this
but
presentation.
for online, Nintendo is the worst at it.
The latest game in the Mario Golf series adds new gameplay for multiplayer modes, as well as the familiar golf gameplay with easy-to-learn controls. Please look forward to this game on Nintendo Switch. Let's move on to more Nintendo Switch headlines.
Check out these games coming to Nintendo Switch. Return to the unforgiving world of Pandora in Tales from the Borderlands. Play as the Hyperion lackey Reese and the quick-witted con
I'm curious to
artist
see
Fiona
how
as you set out to recover
this
a
game
mountain
is
of
going
cash.
to fare on a lower end console like the Nintendo
episodes
Switch.
Filled with classic Borderlands humor. Gangsters, bandit lords, and vault hunters are just a handful of the obstacles you'll encounter in this choice-driven narrative adventure.
Oh, it's a choice driven.
Embark
Okay,
on a
so it'll
wild
do pretty
ride
decent.
when
I thought it's
Tales
like
from
a regular
Borderlands
Borderlands
launches
game.
on Nintendo Switch, March 24th. 32 of
Sis.
Capcom's most beloved arcade classics are coming to Nintendo Switch. Rewind gameplay, adjust game speed or difficulty, and select from a variety of display options to relive that sweet arcade
Capcom
goodness.
games, huh?
Get 1943 The Battle of Midway for free. Then purchase game packs or the standalone Ghosts and Goblins add-on to build your collection. Local co-op play is also available. Scratch that nostalgic itch when Capcom Arcade Stadium launches later today. Brains. As a zombie, you just can't get enough of them. In this action game from Aspire, you'll build your zombie horde and take revenge on the city by
Smoking, that's
turning
funny.
humans into your undead allies. Replenish
You're
your
the
bottle
zombie
arsenal
then?
of sputum head, gut grenades, and more during your grisly mission. This city ain't no match for a dead man. Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse eats its way onto Nintendo Switch March 16th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
It was interesting.
It's Travis Touchdown versus Assassins. Wait, aliens? Aliens have invaded Earth. Hold up, is this even the right game? Anyway, after annihilating an entire city, the aliens have taken over and now host an intergalactic superhero ranking tournament to decide Earth's fate. Here we go. As the crass, beam katana-wielding assassin Travis Touchdown, you'll need to fight your way to the top to save the world.
This game doesn't even look like it's high in graphics or nothing like that. I feel like it's a mix between classic and like modern.
Odd jobs around town and earn enough to pay off the entry fee. You'll then face off against a slew of unusual opponents. Most of them aliens with some crazy tricks up their sleeves. Study their tactics carefully to gain the upper hand in combat. With a new and improved Death Glove, you'll have access to a variety of deadly skills that can be customized and upgraded before each match. The fate of the world is at stake, so get ready to kick some, whatever aliens have that you can kick. Anyway, it'll all make sense when No More Heroes 3 lands on Earth. Or, you know, Nintendo Switch, August 27th. Exterminate demons in heaven?
As above,
Seems
so
interesting.
below. Why do they need assassins in heaven? To do someone's dirty work.
They're not like a person? That's a new take on it.
It's kill or be killed. You won't last long if you can't rely on yourself.
Be the best.
God's judgment has nothing to do with it.
Or burn in hell.
Uncover Heaven's Mysteries
Neon
in
White.
Neon White, coming to Nintendo Switch, Winter 2021. The DC superhero girls are here to save the day.
Hi, everyone. My name's Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. I'm always inventing new gadgets to fight crime, like my batarangs and Bathook. This is Supergirl. She's super strong.
Like a
and has
family-friendly type of game.
plus super breath. And let's not forget Wonder Woman, an Amazonian warrior who wields the lasso of truth. Along with our friends Green Lantern, Bumblebee, and Zatanna, we fight evil supervillains to keep our city safe. But we're not just about the super life. We also have our school lives, and trust me, there's never a dull moment at Metropolis High School. Sometimes it'd be nice to get out of class and do some shopping downtown with my besties. Ooh, and maybe take some photos to share on Superstar Post while we're at it. Hey, I got a comment already. Nice. Ooh, and I definitely want to hit up Sweet Justice later. Uh-oh, something really bad is threatening the city. No one could have seen it coming, but when justice calls, you can count on us to answer no matter what. We've just got to make sure no one figures out our secret identities.
DC Superhero Girls Teen Power, heroically sourced onto Nintendo Switch, June 4th.
Right?
Ready the juice cannons and prepare for battle.
Gameplay footage not final. Plants vs. Zombies, I'm assuming. Yeah. Battle for Neighborville. Okay, player. Play to unlock every character, every costume, every prize. Dun, dun. Complete edition pre-order now.
Who will join you in your adventure? Hint,
Anyone can.
Band together on a quest to face evil and save faces. Miitopia is coming to Nintendo Switch. Cast Mii characters in various roles across the kingdom. Turn your favorite people into your allies, or even make someone the nefarious Dark Lord. Makeup has been added as a new feature in this game. Glam up your Miis and get them ready for adventure. There's also a new wig feature. letting you go wild with your Mii creations and make them even more fabulous.
It's pretty nice. Animal Crossing should take note.
In the world of Miitopia, relationships are key. So consider spending some quality time with allies to strengthen bonds. This can give you an advantage during battle. If your relationship's sour, though, things might take a turn for the worse.
That's funny. They started fighting.
Whoa! You can have a horse as an ally? That sounds pretty darn good. Care for it, and it'll lend a hand, or poof, in battle. Venture with friends and familiar faces in the lighthearted romp Miitopia, coming to Nintendo Switch May 21st.
Another one that's
Pre-orders
catching my
begin
eye.
today on Nintendo eShop. Super
Oh yeah.
Mario-themed items are
There's a
coming to
crossover
your
event.
island.
It's Animal Crossing and Super Mario.
Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary themed items are coming to the Animal Crossing New Horizons game. Familiar items like the Super Mushroom and the Question Block can be ordered in-game as furniture items. So place them however and wherever you'd like. You can also place 2 warp pipes. Then use them to travel between locations on your island.
Ah, that's what they're
Hey,
used for.
Why
Okay.
not try recreating the Mushroom Kingdom? A free update for the game launches February 25th.
So in 4 days.
After downloading it, Super Mario Bros. Items
I'll
will be
back in
available
Animal
via
Crossing
Nook
then.
Shopping starting March 1st. Keep an eye on the official Animal Crossing Twitter account for the latest information.
All right.
We hope you continue enjoying life on your island.
February 25th.
How was that? These collaboration items will be released as part of the Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary events. Please wait a bit longer for their release. Speaking of which, last week, we had the global launch for the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury game.
Yep.
We hope you enjoyed that Mario adventure as well. Next, we have another game to show you.
To each their own convictions. Those who value virtuous morality. Those who respect the liberty of all. Those who pursue pragmatic utility. What ideals will you espouse? Spouse? That's in the word.
He leaves us no recourse. Swords! Never.
What
As
game
Frost
is
will
this?
answer for its crimes today.
Are these the wages of loyalty? Raised earth and burnt corpses.
You and no other must decide how we proceed.
Follow your chosen path to the end.
Beacon others look to when the night is darkest.
Together with these fields, today you burn.
I promise to do all in my power
Tactical
to see us through
RPG.
this safely, every last one of us.
Project Triangle Strategy.
Far, far away lies the
There it is.
continent of Norzilia, comprised of 3 nations and limited deposits of salt and iron. The constant feuds among the nations over these precious resources eventually ignited into a great conflict known as the Salt Iron War. Though the hostilities ceased with an uneasy truce, decades later the flames of war threatened to engulf the realm once again.
You are all that remains.
Caught in a tangled, fiery web of plots and conspiracies, a brave group from Glenbrook fights to save their kingdom from the powers that would orchestrate their downfall.
Our benefit, you say?
In this new tactical RPG, battles take place on terrain with different elevations. A character's attack range is determined by their location and their equipped weapon. The range
Okay.
can be extended by attacking from higher ground with long-range weapons, such as bows and arrows. Thus, your forces can use the terrain
This
and other
isn't,
elements
like,
to
interesting
gain
to me
the
at all.
upper hand. An enemy outflanked is susceptible not only to your initial attack, but
So it's
also
like a
a
strategy
powerful
game as
blow
well.
from the ally positioned behind the enemy.
What have we here?
Charge into an enemy to send them flying into position for a follow-up attack.
We win.
Link attacks together by first casting ice magic on the flames to create water terrain. Then electrify the area with lightning magic. It is of the utmost importance to survey the battlefield before taking action.
Yeah, at all. I'm intrigued because it is like new games and stuff, but
Throughout
that's
the
it.
story, you will
For
be
me
faced
personally,
with
I wouldn't play
making
this.
Important decisions in a variety of situations. Utility, morality, liberty. Collectively, your decisions will establish your conviction, affecting how the story unfolds and who will join your cause.
Okay, that's interesting. That's one thing that that's interesting is the game mechanic within the game that I'm not interested in.
Critical decisions that may determine the fates of nations are settled by vote on the scales of conviction. Use information you've gathered to sway allies toward your favored cause. The story will significantly change based on how the votes are cast.
So they refused to relinquish him to us.
Lies! His hand was forced.
As more and more critical decisions are made, your journey may take you down paths divergent from those of other players.
You will see what true might is.
Project Triangle Strategy.
Yes, I was right. Also, working title. That's why it's called Project. I've never seen a game with Project in its title.
Please be on the lookout for more information in the future. After this presentation, a demo version of this game will be available to download on Nintendo eShop. And in the future, we'll conduct a survey to gather player feedback.
Okay.
We look forward to hearing your responses on the demo.
I'll probably download it. I'll see.
Please look forward to future updates on this brand new tactical RPG from Square Enix.
Oh, is this Square
let's
Enix
see a
title?
few
I didn't
more
know
Nintendo
that.
Switch headlines.
Calling all hunters. Do you have what it takes?
Okay, what's this? Oh, Star Wars. Hunters. Really? Never heard of this game beforehand. Zigna too. We literally just talked about them earlier.
Game set between episodes 6 and 7. Clash in this third-person shooter coming to Nintendo Switch in 2021.
Yeah, no release date at all. Just the year. This is World of Warcraft. No.
Knockout City interviews, take one.
We all play for different reasons.
Korgan loved battle. Korgan used many weapons. Triple-bladed war axe, spear of misery, Hades' soul-devouring crossbow.
A princess is supposed to lead her people, not be stuck up in some tower waiting for a hero.
In my line of work, bullets are constantly whizzing past you.
Flaming longsword, blade of doom.
Just once I'd like to catch one of them bullets. You know, with my hands.
With this crown, I'm gonna lead my team to victory and kick some serious ass!
Look, it's simple.
Korgan want new weapon.
In Knockout City, I'm like a kung fu master. I can catch bullets. Woo! Come get some!
Gameplay footage not final. What is this game?
Roger that, princess. Here.
Let's find out what sound your face makes!
Yeah, this is gonna be dodgeball or what?
Roger that. Heads up, your highness.
Oh, don't get it. They're throwing each other now too. That's funny.
To a bunch of dairy farmers. Okay, team. They may have won the battle, but not the war.
Hey, can we redesign our characters? You're not a team if you're not wearing a uniform.
Max, this is a war zone, not a bloody fashion show.
Pass to me. What? Interview's over? Come on, man, one more game.
Battle Royale. Knox City. Alright. Oh, by EA, okay.
The
Fight for survival starts now.
Hang on tight, because you're all going to play a little game of fate for me.
From the creators of the Danganronpa and Zero Escape series comes a fight for your life, literally. Disoriented and trapped in an underwater theme park, the 12 of you, known as the Go-Getters Club, must now survive this game of fate at all costs.
I don't want to die yet. Sorry to scare you all, but the game is canceled.
The game is suddenly called off. You escape the theme park and get a glimpse of Japan, but everyone's vanished. Set off on a captivating journey across the country that blends side-scrolling action.
Weird, they're like
with
standing down
suspenseful
from the
narrative.
rest of the game, the characters.
As you make your way back home to Tokyo, you'll alternate between working solo and teaming up with the group to overcome challenges and monsters that stand in your way. What awaits you all at the end of your journey? The battle for survival begins in World's End Club, venturing onto Nintendo Switch, May 28th. Wield the powers of Olympus.
Hades. Oh yeah, Hades is getting a physical release. It's already available now digitally.
Dungeon crawler and recipient of multiple Game of the Year awards is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I tried Hades. It was fun, but it still wasn't my cup of tea.
Journey out of the underworld. The first is a PC download code for the Hades original soundtrack. It's packed with 2.5 hours of blood-pumping music composed by Darren Korb, known for his work on previous Supergiant titles like Transistor and Bastion. The second is a 32-page full-color character compendium featuring portraits of the game's vibrant cast of gods, ghosts, and monsters, all by Supergiant's art director, Gen Z. And let's not forget the game itself, offering dozens of hours of exhilarating action paired with a compelling story. Escape the underworld again, or for the first time, with the physical version of Hades on March 19th. 3 deadly action games, 1 masterful collection.
Is it Dishonored? No, it's the Ninja Gaiden.
Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge are coming to Nintendo Switch as the action-packed Ninja Gaiden Master Collection.
Never really played that franchise.
You are the legendary ninja Ryu Hayabusa, fighting against a great evil with battle skills that are second to none. Wield an arsenal of killer weapons, each offering a
I'd rather
playstyle
play this
with
on
different
PC
setup
or on
and
Xbox
skills, along with ruthless ninjutsu to swiftly take down
to have a much better experience.
Quickly gauge your opponent's movements while unleashing fast and frenzied combos. And team up with other super ninjas in your quest to fulfill your destiny. All previous downloadable content, including costumes and game modes, are included. Revel in the intensity of Ninja Gaiden in one dynamic collection. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection slices its way onto Nintendo Switch summer 2021.
Okay. Oh, Hyrule Warriors.
Are coming to Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
Oh, that's the update that's coming. I thought it was a new game. So like it's like DLC essentially. Ranking expansion pass. Okay. Wave 1, wave 2. Okay. So it's like the DLC that came for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
There's even more coming to Nintendo Switch. Bravely
Bravely
Default 2
Default.
is almost here.
This looks
Four
so
heroes
familiar. I'm
alike
trying
will
to
soon embark on a journey to
think
restore the crystals.
who's the.
Use the job system to develop your characters and
Even
master
the characters
brave
look
and
so
default
familiar.
ways to emerge victorious in turn-based battles.
Who's the developer behind this?
Veterans and newcomers to the series can enjoy this brand new story on February 26th. A new trailer for Bravely Default 2 will be revealed following this presentation. The game can be pre-ordered on Nintendo eShop. An updated demo is also available.
Look, I'll check out that
The
demo.
latest installment in the legendary
Yeah,
Ghosts
they
and
didn't
Goblins
say anything.
series comes to life. As the brave knight Arthur, you'll unleash weapons, spells, and skills to battle monsters across challenging stages within the demon realm. Local co-op play is also available for the first time. Help Arthur in his quest with one of 3 supporting characters: Barry for defense, Carrie for transportation, or Archie for bridges. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection launches February 25th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. 8 protagonists, 8 captivating journeys. Saga Frontier has been remastered for Nintendo Switch.
Almost done.
Travel through a stunning sci-fi world with any of the protagonists, each with their own stories. With the addition of the playable protagonist Fuse, new gameplay features, exhilarating battles, and a new scenario for the protagonist Acellus, Saga Frontier Remastered is an adventure not to be missed. The game launches April 15th. Apex Legends is storming onto the Nintendo Switch system.
Bunch, I was
This
totally
free-to-play battle royale features a growing roster of powerful contenders named
I'm interested in playing it on the Switch, but
cross-platform play,
with Switch's
and
release,
all players
it,
on
it's
Nintendo
once
Switch can get an
it brings
all-new
cross
legendary
progression one step closer.
30 free levels for the Season 8 Mayhem Battle Pass. Plus, for the first 2 weeks after launch, earn double XP when you play on Nintendo Switch. Fight for fortune, fame, and glory when Apex Legends enters the fray March 9th.
How's it going so far? There's still a little bit more to show you in today's Nintendo Direct, so we hope you'll stick with us.
All right.
Next, please take a look at this.
Hello there, I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. I'm sure a lot of
Alright,
you
that's
saw
right,
me
it's like
and
the
thought there
30th
might be news
anniversary or
about the
something.
sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share right now.
There you go.
We apologize. Development is proceeding smoothly, and we should be able to bring you some new information this year. For now, we'll have to ask you to wait just a bit longer.
So nothing
While you're all
about
waiting,
Breath of the Wild 2.
This Legend of Zelda game will be coming to Nintendo Switch. Please take a look.
So what's this? What game is this? Oh, Skyward Sword HD. Also, it's like a remastered version of it.
What you've just seen is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. This game originally released in 2011
Yeah, the
on the Wii
remastered.
console, and now it's coming to Nintendo Switch. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword featured a control scheme in which players would use the Wii Remote Plus controller as a sword and the Nunchuck controller as a shield. With the increased processing power of the Nintendo Switch system, the controls here are smoother and even more intuitive. And we've recreated the controls for the sword and the shield here by having the player hold 2 Joy-Con controllers. The Joy-Con controller in your right hand is the sword. Swing it to have Link swing his sword in the game. The Joy-Con controller in your left hand is the shield. By lifting the controller, you can raise the shield to block enemy attacks.
And redirect them,
You
too.
can perform other actions like using both controllers to wield a bow and arrow. These physical movements add a sense of urgency and tension to combat. But we've also made it possible to play the game with button controls to ensure it can be played in handheld mode or on the Nintendo
Okay,
Switch
now.
Lite system. After mulling over how to assign different gameplay elements to different buttons, we decided to apply the sword motions to tilting the right control stick. Tilt the stick down when you want to swing the sword downward. To swing to the right, to the left, or diagonally, just tilt the stick in the respective direction. Here's something else we've been working on.
Oh yeah, the Joy-Cons.
The right Joy-Con controller is themed after the
I thought
Master
those
Sword,
were Monster
while the
Hunter,
left
but those
features a
ended
highlighted
up being
shield
Zelda controllers.
The Legend of
Joy-Cons, I
Zelda
should say.
Skyward Sword, as the game depicting the earliest story in the Legend of Zelda timeline, details the events around the creation of the Master Sword itself. We hope that people who played the original game on Wii, and those playing it for the first time, will enjoy discovering the origins of the Legend of Zelda. The Legend
July
of Zelda
16th.
Skyward Sword HD launches July 16th. Following this Nintendo Direct, you'll be able to pre-order the game on Nintendo eShop. And the specially designed Joy-Con controllers will launch on the game's release date at your local retailers. Many of you may already know this, but The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was the last original console game prior to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game, and it was still following the established conventions of The Legend of Zelda. However, it gave a glimpse into many features and innovations that would eventually be adopted in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, using the sailcloth to descend in midair, a stamina gauge that depleted as you scaled walls with vines or ran, even the concept of collecting items to upgrade gear. I hope those of you who've played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will give this game a try as well. Please look forward to The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
Well, what did you think? The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword has been optimized for
Still not my
Nintendo Switch.
cup of tea.
It
I'm not.
includes intuitive
Me
motion
personally,
controls, button controls,
I'm not
and
interested
tilted
in the
to
Zelda
right control
franchises, but I'm happy for others who are.
The
Like
next
at me,
game
I grew up
will
with
be our
Pokemon
last
Zelda.
announcement for today.
I played it,
Please take a look at this.
but I didn't cater to me. Okay, what's this? Splatoon? Oh yeah, Splatoon 3. Little buddy's turn. It's funny. Hair looks funny. It looks like someone just used like hedge clippers on his hair. Alright. Sorry, no spam here, please. These bots are endless. Yeah, he's just smiling and looking everywhere. Alright. Thought this was Splatoon 3. The event is concluding. We'll see if there's another announcement after the event is finished. Like the last Nintendo Direct, the event was over, and then as soon as like the credits supposedly rolled, they announced Fall Guys for coming to the Nintendo Switch. we're gonna wait to the very, very end. I hear something.
What you've just seen is the latest installment in the Splatoon series, Splatoon 3. This game is scheduled to launch in 2022,
Oh, so
it'll be
next
a while.
year. Okay.
We hope you'll stay tuned for more information at a later time. Today, we showed you a sampling of games coming to Nintendo Switch. A variety of games are in development. And we look forward to sharing more news with you in the future. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Alright, I'm guessing that's it. Alright. Now we're gonna switch over. Then let's see. Hey, what's wrong with this thing? There we go. Much better. I thought it froze for a second. Okay, let's see something. Close. Like I said, most of these games aren't my cup of tea. But, let me see. Let me see something. Well, the only thing that kind of caught my eye is the Animal Crossing event with Super Mario. Okay, so Star Wars Hunters is a free competitive player third-person shooter. So it's free to play if you guys are interested. Let's see. And this is coming from GameSpot, by the way. So that's essentially it. Project Triangle Strategy. Okay, what's that? See, let me try to find that other game. Let me see. Nope. Plants vs. Zombies. It's not that one. Nope. The Legend of Mana. I think that was it. Let me see. No, that's a Zelda type game. This one is getting a demo. Yeah, I don't recall. I'll look into that. Okay, so if you guys looked at the Fall Guys is coming to the Switch. They actually announced on social that it's coming to the Xbox as well. It's coming in 2021, summer of 2021. So they're coming. I don't know. It is a Nintendo event, so it wouldn't have been announced during that event, during that same event. Okay. So that's about it. So if you guys are interested in sending us a reader mail, here's how you can contact us. We want to know your feedback, your thoughts, and even any questions that you may have for us by sending us a reader mail on the Discord server, by leaving a voice note over at anchor.fm/THEIMPACTPLAY, or even by sending us an email to readermail@theimpactplay.com. Who knows? It may even be featured on a future episode, or even our special reader mail segment of the show. So, thank you guys so much for making the Impact Play a part of your day. If you wish to join our community server over on Discord, be sure to enter !Discord in chat now. Guys, we need your help because we are trying to unlock subscriptions over on Twitch. Share the channel with your friends, your family, and anyone whom believe would benefit from the show. leave us a review, even just a rating on your favorite platform. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys again for the tremendous support. And I will be unveiling, stay tuned, because I will be unveiling a new t-shirt design that's going to be hopefully starting as soon as early as Monday or this Monday. And it's going to be available all year. It's going to be for it's going to be for essentially supporting Black History Month and Black Lives Matter. And the funds will be donated to specific charities that have yet to be announced. So as soon as I get everything in order, I will announce it on social. So be on the lookout for that. And we are going to be having some more guests on the show, some more interviews. So be on the lookout for that as well. So thank you guys so much once again. Leave us a review, even just on your favorite platform, guys. Have a great one. Until next time, folks.